As I explained first, we're going to perform each of these exercises in the basic level, and we're going to start with this exercise that it says first functions and formulas. And here we have these exercises. Let's make a brief summary. Here we have 3 sheets. On the first one I have these exercises with tabs. In the number 2 I give you all the structure and the data, and also the same thing for the number 3. As long as we move forward, we're going to understand. And remember, there is a topic that I'm going to explain you how to perform these tables, even though I made a brief summary on the first part that I explained you how to perform these borders, fonts, and colors, and bold fonts. And this is located at the home button, all related to font and also all related to alignment. Here you can see this in these 2 groups. This is quite easy, but there's another topic that we are going to go beyond, talking about the design of templates. So let's get to sheet number 1, and here we'll explain this template. So here we have some codes, and here we have some lab analysis, and here we have some costs. For instance, this analysis here with this code costed 25, but we don't know what is it. Here we have only numbers. We have no currency symbol. Since we don't have it, currency could be any kind of value. It could be euros, dollars, or pounds if we don't have any symbol. So first, what we're going to do is to add to each cell the currency symbol. I go up and I'm going to choose. And if I cannot find the currency here, I go directly to the last option. The window opens up, and the symbol will appear. So here you will find all the currencies from the world. So I choose the United States currency and select it here. And now I could say that this analysis costed me $25. This analysis here costed me $45. The HIV analysis 120, the bacterial 50, and so on. Each of them has their correct price. This currency is in dollars because it has the symbol. This is the quantity, and it means that we had 4 analyses of pregnancy at $25 each. So this table is asking me to obtain the subtotal, which is the multiplication of these values. So here I will have an autofill to have all the calculations made for each of these cells. And then here at the bottom is requesting me the net value. And here also the net value of the discount and the net value also of the total. So this is what we are going to do right now. Let's go to see how to develop this template with formulas or functions. So just locate on the proper cell, that would be F4, and in F4 I'm going to develop my formula. Remember that always all formulas within Excel is started with the equal symbol. But here I will start it with the mouse. I'm going to select the first cell that I would like to multiply, in this case here. But remember, this is not going to select the 25 number itself, but it will select the range of the cell, which is D4, and then I add by and add also E4, but I'm not multiplying by range. D4 by E4, and then enter. And now here I have the multiplication. So here you have already the symbol there. Why? Because it's copying it from the cell, and this is just copying the same format. So I drag it down, and here I have the multiplication of each of these cells. So I have 145 per 5, 225, and so on. The last one, the 55 per 6 by 6, I have 330. Another way could be like this. So I just delete it. So the other way to do the multiplication is using a function, and this function is called the product. So I just type equal and product, and just double click on the function to make the brackets appear. So I just repeat it again. I just type the three first letters, and when you see all the three, I just double click on the function. So all the formula and the function appears. And additionally, I don't need to add the brackets, the opening brackets. So it's requesting me a number, so I add the cell, and I just add a comma. So this will be according to your laptops or your computers. How do I know that this is a comma in this case? Because here this is the syntax here, and it's stated a comma. And now it's requesting me the number 2. So I just select the second cell. And now I close the cells with the brackets and enter. And here I have the same result as I did with the asterisk. So I just take the autofill and drag it down, and I have the results of these values. And now you see that I multiplied each of them until the last one. Now at the bottom here, I can just locate here with the net value, and I can create an Autosum, or I can do it by my own. If I just want to do it by my own, I just type equal, then the function sum, and double click to have the autofill, open the brackets, and then select all the values that I want to sum until from the first one until the last one. So I close in the brackets and enter, and now here's the total value. A very fast way to take it is just you can select all the values that you want to sum, or just locate on the cell where you are going to obtain the result. Any of them are the same. So just go directly to home, and to the right side you will find an Autosum ribbon, and here just click on here, and here you have the function plus the range, because they see here the system reads that there are only data to sum from up to down. The other way, it could be selecting the values that you want to sum, and then go directly to Autosum and select sum. But you can scroll it down also, and there are more functions here, but I just select sum, and then it autosums immediately. So remember that I can do it in a different way. So this is a very common used function in Excel. So what can I do first? Here is using this icon that I added on the first session. Remember the first video? And I added it here, so I can click it on it and just obtain the result from the Autosum. So that's why we put it here, because it's very commonly used. So now I have the Autosum. Now I want to obtain the discount of this value. Here it says this is the subtotal, but here I have a discount of 16%. But here I locate it here, I do the same equal and select the value, or I can add directly the percentage. 16%, it should always be like this, and the asterisk, because I'm going to do a multiplication. So it is 16, the percentage altogether with the asterisk. Whenever you're going to work with percentages, you use this typing. And then I'm going to select the percentage of that cell. So the percentage obviously will be $16, and now drag it down. And now I have the 16% of each of these cells. For instance, 2025 will be 36. The 16% of 480 will be 78. 6.80, and so on. And now I select all these values, and here up I just click on Autosum. So 320.80 will be my discount. So here I have the percentage and the asterisk 4. Another way it would be, I'm going to delete it, to take the discounts this way. So this time I will type equal, and 0.16 is another way to take the percentage in Excel. And I don't add the symbol of percentage because that 0 point represents the percentage. So just directly go to the multiplication and click on the value where I want to obtain the percentage. So it will be the same result, but this is just another way to obtain the percentage. So my suggestion is to practice both ways, because you're going to do it in one way or the other way, because you may be working in different documents. So I drag it down and I obtain the net discount. And now I have the total. The total, as we can do it in two ways. You can locate it here, or just select in the values that you want to do the subtraction. This total is the subtraction. So just do the subtraction here, because this is a discount. Just as equal, then select the subtotal minus the second value, that is the discount. And now I have a subtraction, reduction of F4 less G4. And the result here is 84. I drag it down, and here I have the total. And now I'm going to do the Autosum. Remember that I can use it here, and I have enter. Now I have finished my first exercise. So let's go to our second sheet. And here, just to be more aware of this, I have enough room to do it. So let's see what this is all about. Here I have a list of medicines, and here this is a shift 1, shift 2, shift 3. And these are amounts. This is not money. These are amounts of the medicines sold by shift. For instance, this alcohol was sold in shift 1 at 428 units, in the second one 300, and in shift 3 350 in a 24-hour shift. And now, on the same way, we have the megacillin and penicillin and each of these medicines. Before continuing with these columns that we have here, here it's asking me for the total sum, and also make an average of these three values, the maximum value of these three, and also the minimum value of these three. So these are basic functions of Excel that I'm going to explain. So the lower part is requesting me the total sum of each of them per column. So I can just locate here and just select up here the Autosum, or just go to the other way. If you don't have it added here, because if you haven't seen the first video, how to locate it here. So just click on Autosum, I select everything and then enter. And here I have the total sum. And now I drag it to my right, and see that you can do it in the same way. What happened here is just to Autosum there automatically the second shift and also the third shift. So you can see the range, and also it's getting ready for the Autosum of the next values, even though I haven't typed any of them yet, because the formula is already included here, and just using the first cell. And now let's get it to the total. So here I want to sum all the three. I could do it with a formula or with Autosum. Just select the first value plus the second value, that is the second cell, plus the third value. In this case, I'm using the operator with plus, and I enter, and I have the sum total of the three. Remember that you can type the sum, and just select, double click to open the brackets, and here with the mouse you select the range that you want to sum. In this case, these three values. and then close the brackets and enter. And here you have the value. But remember, if you don't want to type anything, just locate on the cell and you just go directly to Autosum here in home button and click. And here you have the formula down. Just drag it down, and here the calculation was made. And now it's asking me for the average of these three shifts, of these three cells. And now I just type again equal and just type average. That is to obtain the average of each. So what I'm going to do is just select with the mouse all these three range, all these three cells, and you can see here you are selecting from C4 cell until E4. So these 2 points means the continuity of this range. And then close the brackets, and now I have the average. Where can I obtain this? Is obtained from the sum of these three values divided between its amounts. So it's divided into 3. So, and this is obtaining 356 with its decimals. And now move downwards and obtain the other ones. Why do I have so many decimals? Because these values are quite different, and the final result will be different. And we can fix it too. Now it's requesting me for the maximum value. The maximum value will be searching between these three shifts, which is the maximum value that we have here. In this case, it will be 420. On the other side, here the minimum value will be 300, and this is what I'm going to take here. So just do it. So I just enter equal max, and here this is function, double click on it. So this is requesting me the numbers, or I can drag it here. I select the range and then enter. So the maximum is 420. Maybe I could do it better. Then maybe I could do it also in the other way of scrolling down in the Autosum group, and here I find average. So Excel thinks that I would also like to have an average of the sum total too, but I just select these three values, and I do it placing the mouse in the middle of the cell, and then I obtain the complete range, and then close brackets and enter, and here I have the same value. I'm sorry, I didn't do the maximum, I did just the average, so I start again, and now equal. That was my mistake. I just locate on the cell, no equal sign. So I go directly to max of which of these three values, and enter. And here I have the 420. This is the maximum value. So I drag it downwards and I obtain the result of each of them. On the opposite, here I have the minimum result. So if you are going to use directly this button, don't do double click on it, because if the cursor is tightening, then it will give you another option and it couldn't work. So if I lift, and if I'm located here and I try to move there, it won't open. But if I'm located in another way, it will appear. So don't put double click, or don't type equal sign here in this case. So just go directly on the cell and not in the cell. So just place on the cell and go directly to Autosum and just select the function that you are needing, in this case minimum. So Excel thinks that I would like to have the minimum value of all this row. But no, I just select those ones that I needed, so from C4 until E4, and the minimum value obviously is 300. For instance, if I'm located here, for instance, if I just type 120 and the value will change. For instance, if I place 85, 0, And then I start doing all these functions. So we have developed the 4 basic functions of the Excel: sum, average, maximum value, and the minimum function. And here you can find it in the upper part: sum, average, max, and minimum. Later we will see the count number and more functions. But here these ones are the most important and basic ones. So let's arrange the average of the decimals of average. Just select all this column, and in the upper part, in the home ribbon, you will find these buttons below general: increase the decimal or decrease decimal. And now I click on here, and you will see how it is going to decrease the decimals, or maybe no decimals at all, with 1 decimal or 2 decimals. So this is all about quantities, not money. But in this case, if we have more than 4 digits, it's better to have the comma to separate the thousands. Why? Because it would be easier for you to read them. In this case, I haven't put it here, but we can select all these numbers, and in the upper part we are going to add in the thousand sign. Here, this comma, you click on it, and then it goes directly to locate the comma for those numbers that have more than 4 figures. For instance, also it includes the decimals, and I can reduce it with this click on it. So if I wanted to add more decimals, I just add it or reduce it or take it out. So this is just to have the appearance, but we have another options to do that. But as you notice, we have seen our exercise number 2, where we used the main functions of Excel. Remember that this is located in the upper part. You can use it and take it from here, or you can type it in manually as we did it in each exercises, and we can delete it again and use these options. Okay, so first we're going to perform our exercise number 3, and here I will explain you what this is all about in this template. Here in this column we have some employees. They have their salary. See that there is no comma sign of thousands, so these just are numbers of money. And here we have the bonus number 1, that is corresponding to 17% of their salary. The second bonus, that is the 10% of their salary, and we have a discount of 12%, obviously of a discount of their salary. And if they have temporary bonuses throughout the year, then we'll make a sum of them. Then we have the discount of 12%, and then the total. The total will be the salary plus the bonus 1 plus bonus 2 minus the discount. And here at the bottom we have the totals. So let's see how we are going to perform this exercise. First, let's go to the Autosum. Here we select all of these, also with the cell blank, and here click on the Autosum, and here we have all the amount. Now it has the currency. Maybe it's because the format was already preset here previously. So this should be first like this. So I just select all of this, and then I will apply the currency, and here I have it here in the upper part. Here it is. If you have too many decimals with 0.00 and you don't consider it's nice, you just take it out. And now I have sharp numbers, but you can also collect some numbers that you don't want to. Then in the upper part here, this small button here, you just put in general. In general, returns it as it was originally. But for that I need to have it all in the currency. So I just take out the decimals. Ready. So let's going to take out our first bonus. Our first bonus, it says it would be 70% of what Adam Fred is earning. he earns $1,650, but we're also going to add a second bonus. Let's calculate the percentage. As I told you, it's equal the percentage asterisk and the cell where I'm going to obtain the value C4, and here we have the first bonus. Here he will receive 280.50 added to the salary that he earns. And now I drag it down and I obtain all the values, and just I can profit in this total Autosum. Remember that I can drag it to the right and I can obtain the value of that, and this is just getting ready for the next ones. On the second bonus is of 10%, so just type equal 0.10 as I taught you before, so that's asterisk. So remember, when you have a point, you don't use the percentage symbol, and then add the salary, that is 1,650. And now this is the second bonification, the second bonus, and I drag it down, and I have all the results for each of the rest of employees. Now we have the two bonuses. Now let's move to the discount. The discount is particularly different in the finances, or in this payroll will be this way. For instance, if these bonuses are extraordinary, for instance, they paid it on the national holidays or Mother's Day, so these are extraordinary bonuses given by the company. So this won't receive any discount. But let's see that in this case, this bonus will be given to you throughout the year. And then what we're going to do, we're going to consider it within the discount. Then I place equal, and then I'm going to select the next one. I just open brackets, just select the first cell plus the second cell plus the third cell. See that you can notice three colors because Excel is identifying it that way. It's C4 in blue, D4 in red, and E4 in purple. So here I'm creating a formula. So I'm just close brackets and then enter. So I will obtain the sum of this 3/4. But remember that I'm requesting a 12% discount. So I'll just get back to the formula and add an asterisk and 12% and enter. And now see the result. What is happening here? Why is it happening this way? Because when I use two operators, in this case I'm adding the sum operation, I have to determine these three cells. So I have the value from each of them, and these values will be added to 12. So you're going to take out the 12% to each of these values. So that's why the sum operators will go in brackets. And then just click on enter. And then the result. Maybe you can do it in another way. For instance, use the sum function, type equal sum, and just select the values that I would like to sum. In this case, these ones. And just out of the brackets type asterisk 12%, but also remember you can do also 0.12. And see, I can obtain the same results. So we just sum this first range of cells, and the result of this, just take the 0.12%. Why? Because I consider the bonuses. And here I drag it downwards and I obtain the results from each of them. And now the total is of the sum of these three minus the discount. So I could use it in that way. So it's just equal sum, open brackets, and here is requesting me the number 1, number 2, or number 3 value, or I just go and select, close the brackets, minus, that is this symbol, and enter with this value. It's just basically what happened in the same case, because the difference is that I'm not using the percentage. And now what I'm doing is making a sum from C4 until E4, these 3 values. And here, after making the sum, I'm doing the subtraction of F4 and then click on enter. So this is the total that this employee is going to receive. So I drag it down, and I'm going to change it into dollars. So with the proper value. And with this, we finished our third exercise of the first phase of formulas and functions. And now what you're going to do is to practice all this, what you have learned since the first until the third one. So we're going to save all this for each exercise that you're going to save in a different location. So just go directly to File, Save As, Browse, and here we're going to select the folder that I gave you. Besides these 15 files, here we're going to select resources and practices, and here downwards you're going to select that you're going to change the name. Finished. Then save and ready. So we're going to close the file and just go directly to the folder .1, and here you have this file, and within resources you have this file that you made it with me, and you see that this is the completed version. But if you open the new one that is within all the group of the 15, now you can see it's clean without the results. So here you're going to practice everything that you learned in this video. So I just suggest you from now on, for every video that we're going to perform, just save it and add it finished. And now you can strengthen all what you have learned in this video. If for any reason you forgot this function, just close and just open that one that I taught you, and then you can remember how to use each formula and all the functions that we have developed in this procedure. Obviously it will remain saved, and you can check on the video all of these exercises. Another way that we're going to practice the exercise you're going to develop with me, for instance, I can select all these elements, all this range of cells with Control C. I copy and make a copy of them and paste it in another cell with Control B, and just escape, and I can delete also the values that we performed here. Just delete them, and then obviously you can start from scratch. So for the next sheet, I'm just going to repeat it. Control C after selecting the cells, just leave 2 rows free, and just escape to stop selecting all the copied area, and just let's make a zoom out. I'm going to delete all the cells that we need to work with. And then again, I repeat again, I just zoom out again, or what I can do is just Control C, and with Control V, just escape, and then again, I delete all this information. Remember? And here you have a copy. Obviously, we need to make it bigger. You can expand these columns, just click on one of them and you have a bigger size for these columns. All the columns can move to the same size. We can select here and yes, we can solve. Another way that we can help to do this is using a function that is known as formula text. For instance, here I have a salary and here I have a bonus one. How can I understand that I use this one? I can locate here and see on the formula bar how did I do it. And here the formula bar explains me how did I do it. Another way is just locating here in the total. I just select here, double click, and it will show me. So I have to do it in that way. But for instance, if I want to perform all this like this, as I'm explaining you to copying and pasting. But here I want to do this formula, but I don't remember how it was. So I just get back to this value, see on the formula bar, double click to see it and perform it in that way. But there is a quickest way. Just locate on the above of this column, and then we are going to use this function equal formula text. This first one that we have here. Here it is. You select the value that is 280.50, then close with the brackets, and this will allow me that this formula located here will appear here. So it allows you to see or have a preview of what you made on the inner part of the cell. And now repeat it, equal formula text, which is the first one, double click to select it. It's asking me for a reference. I just click on the cell 4 and then close the brackets, and automatically it will explain you how did I do in the interior part of the cell, inside the cell. And now it will do the same for the next ones. Yeah. So here you can find it an easier way to perform my exercise. So I can just see in or type in directly and then C4, but in this case it will not be C4, it will be J4. And then click enter, and then it's solved. And now this is the Autosum that is here, and I use it. This bonus 2 is here is 10%, so it's equal 0.10, but it's by 0.10 by, and now again the cell of salary J4, and here I have the same again result. Here is just that the 0 is out, and drag it down and obtain the result for each, and now I can copy the total amount. How did I do the discount? Here the formula text is helping me a lot. I just type in again, I can add sum, and what should I sum? These ones, which is this 3/4. So for me is these 3 ones. So I close the bracket, I do the multiplication of 12%, but this function is helping me a lot because it's suggesting me how to type it in. So I obtain it in the same value. Remember that this is a copy of everything that is located here. And how did I do with the total? With the total, I made a sum, but making a deduction of the discount. So I just select them minus the discount. So here I drag from the autofill and I obtain the results. So how did I do this without opening the whole document? Using the formula text. So here you have 2 ways how you can practice with each of the exercises we are going to develop in this basic level of Excel for business. Or you can open it from scratch to start, or make a copy to the next site. There are some exercises that are bigger, some that are more complicated. I will explain you later when we get to this part of the exercises. So here you have the foundations of how to start with this course. We have developed 3 interesting exercises. I know it's quite basic, but as long as we move forward with each of the topics that are located here in this folder, here, the first one, and as long as we move forward until number 15, you are going to learn new formulas, new tools, new methods, new tricks, new tips to work in Excel that makes you an expert for Excel.